is this. Expectations for next year. So this park lot, this season's done now. There's one, by the way, there's one game there is.
It's done.
Let me ask you one question though. On a percentage, be really honest. No one's going to hold this against you. What level, like what percentage of hope have you got that something could happen on Sunday?
Well, none. Because here's the thing. If I could guarantee that we would beat Everton, then maybe, yeah. But I think we'll lose again. So there's 0%. Not even trying to be negative, you guys. Like, it's done. Like, we're fifth.
Yeah.
Europa League bound. Thursday nights.
I agree. If they were playing anybody but Norwich, I would say maybe not. But Norwich are so bad.
I mean, the way, like, you can't even, like, the story is, I mean, if I'm a neutral, the story is kind of perfect, isn't it? You know, we were 4 points clear, but the next game was the North London derby. You know, the game away from home, like there's no way we're winning that. And that's why if the season comes down to that game, you know, it was so close. It was so marginal. And then we have to go away to Newcastle. And a lot of people were like, well, they're 14th. That's not the same team. And we were just ravaged and it was just terrible. So yeah, I mean, I think it ended the way a lot of people wanted it to. Like, I'm not blind to see that everybody was Spurs, and so they got what they wanted. But hey, you know, it is what it is, and there's another season coming up. Just like Manchester United fans said, you know, there's another season, put it behind you. This doesn't matter anymore. Moving on.
Bang on. And do you want to know why I'm so happy? The main reason why I'm happy, it is a compliment, by the way.
What?
You making the Champions League and having Champions League football, I'm not saying Arsenal can't attract without it, but I believe the extra money, the confidence boost, and maybe some additional players that you could sign, maybe that you can't get without it, would have made you harder to catch. So I'm happy in yes, there's the misery loves company. We could both be in the Europa.
That's so what it is.
No, that's part of it. But I'm telling you now, I've been very respectful to Arsenal this year. Even when I've laughed at things, I've still been as a rival. I've still been respectful. If you made the Champions League, I'd be more fearful. It's less of a threat, if that makes sense. On the Newcastle game, though, yeah, this is where stats are can be misleading. This is one example. Yes, they're 14th in the league, but since Eddie Howe arrived, they've been the third best team in the league. It's a bit like when you sometimes see stats where when people do Man City versus whoever stats and they show like the last 40 years, the win percentages. I'm like, you can't do that anymore. You have to show the win percentages since they got money, because Man City from 2009 are a different beast to the Man City for the whole 100 odd years prior that they were around. You know, when you look at teams like, you sometimes see things like, oh, Brighton have won 2 games against Manchester United in 37 years. I'm like, but how about we talk about how many games they've won against Man United since Brighton have been a good team? Suddenly the stats are really different, if that makes sense. And yeah, I saw the Newcastle game as being a problem. Newcastle looked very, very good, but it's the legs. You're right about Saka, and that legs are gone. However, next expectations, and this isn't to try and put words in your mouth or to say something that we're going to overtly hold you to, because we all know that the world changes, i.e. this season was a great example of that. But missing out on it the way you did, the fact that, you know, something you said to me the other day was Arsenal fans have got to read more because it's quite obvious they're going to spend this year. If let's just say you've had this season where there's been progression, what are the expectations for an acceptable season next year in your eyes? You as a Gooner, what needs to happen next year for Arsenal?
Well, I guess I can kind of start off with just the transfer window, because the transfer window for me dictates what my expectations are. So I have expectations for the transfer window. You know, if we were to bring in if we brought in, let's say, because the rumored window is basically we're going to bring in 2 fullbacks, Aaron Hickey, maybe, Molina from Udinese, plus Yuri Tielemans type player, Gabriel Jesus, another attacker, and maybe 1 more midfielder. So for me, if that's the window that we have, I expect, and see, here's the thing, and this is why I always said that even though I want to see Arteta build the team so that he can have his best possible opportunity, I think he's going to fall short. And the reason for that is because there's going to be a lot of teams fighting for the top 4, and I think we'll be in the pack, and we need to qualify for Champions League next season. With the window that I think we're going to have, we have got to qualify for Champions League. We cannot sit another year outside of it. I'm patient enough. I'm patient enough to see the gaps in the squad, the bad personalities, that kind of stuff, and also take into account that he's inexperienced. But at this point, we would need to see more progression, and that progression can only be really sealed if we qualify for Champions League. So that's it for me. That's the window. You get that window, you have no excuses, in my opinion.